gamers, gals, and my non-binary pals. Welcome to the top 5 decks I believe anyone can make it a Plat 1 in Master Duel with. Obviously, these decks are curated from my personal experience as well as personal biases, so some of these decks may work for you, some of these decks may not, but these decks all play differently for each other, and I believe that in this video you should be able to find a deck that really suits your playstyle and general outlook of the game in general, and you should be able to succeed with any deck on this list, and I genuinely believe that anyone can make it a Plat 1 with these lists given a little time and dedication. Note that this isn't a budget-friendly list of decks. Some of these decks might require you to pour in a lot more resources than others, and just keep that in mind. But there are definitely budget-friendly alternatives you can play. Please just let me know in the comment section down below if you're interested in seeing some of these budget decks or even more of these super high rarity decks. So let's just jump straight into it. So let's start with an out of the box pick. We've got Dragonmaid. I'm going to give you a little historical lesson about what this deck does, and I'll of course try to explain the card by card, of course. So historically, Dragonmaid was released in one of the worst side sets of all time. I don't remember the name because it's just that irrelevant. It included Generator, which sucks, sorry Dire, and Mekk-Knights, which is a bit less sucky, but this one was easily the worst of the bunch. Their gimmick was, with their main deck monsters, they would be able to tag out into their larger dragon parts in order to set up for OTK plays. Parlor was a Foolish Burial, Nurse was a Monster Reborn, Laundry would be a mill, and Kitchen would be an add and discard. And during the battle phase, they could tag out from either the graveyard or the hand into a larger dragon, and you could tag back in. The unfortunate part is that these cards kind of fucking suck. None of them had any going first plays. Their going second plays were extremely weak because all you were doing was basically special summoning a large body, and didn't also help that their large dragon forms had really mediocre effects. Tinkek was like an Honest, and Lorpar was a Veiler on your turn. It wasn't good. And this deck just kind of floundered for a really long time until they got this card, Chamber Dragonmaid, as well as the other support that came alongside it. Chamber Dragonmaid is able to, on normal summon or special, you can add a Dragonmaid spell or trap. And the trap card that they got was absolutely incredible. Dragonmaid Tidying, which is a Compulse. Compulse is pretty good, like even in 2022 standards, but when it's searchable, it is absolutely broken. It's also able to act as a reborn, so on follow-up plays you just are able to generate more and more resources. You give Dragonmaid an inch, they will take a mile. And finally, of course, they got their main boss monster, a big upgrade from their house Dragonmaid. We've got Dragonmaid Xiao, the big counterpart to the house. So it is able to act as an Omni Negate, and additionally on the standby phase, bring back any Dragonmaid from the graveyard, which of course can include house or even other copies of Chamber Dragonmaid to set up for further extension, further resource generation, and just squeeze the life out of your opponent. And the Dragonmaid package honestly saw a ton of play. Pure doesn't see a whole ton of play just because people prefer to play more combo-centric dragon decks, but if you ever wanted like a control dragon deck to play, this is it. I cannot recommend it enough. It is one of my most favorite decks. So let's get into the card by card, starting with the hand trap lineup. We are playing 3 Effect Veiler because it is generically good. It is able to be activated multiple times per turn, and when you're drawing multiple copies off of Veiler under Max E, it is really, really nice. Speaking of, we're playing 3 Max E. It's the OCG format. Get used to it. Max E, just without a doubt, the most defining card in this format. As many issues as I have with it, can't deny that this card is fucking nuts. We are playing 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Ash Blossom is obviously just generically good, but also has the additional benefit of being able to negate your opponent's Max C because reasons. It is really goofy, and you kind of just have to play 3 of this card. And finally, we're playing 1 Nibiru. Nibiru at 1 is okay. You can obviously play 2 if you really want to see it more often, but when you're playing Max C, it sort of acts as the second, third, and fourth copy of it. And being able to draw into Nibiru is obviously really, really powerful, and when you're not seeing multiples of it, it's honestly pretty great. I just like to see Maxi as copies 2, 3, and 4 of Nibiru, but obviously if you want to play the second one, I would maybe cut a changeover. Wouldn't play a third one, however. So let's get into the starters. We've got 3 Black Metal Dragon. Most of the starters in this deck are honestly designed either to get Tidying and make spheres, or hopefully both, but none of them do both at the same time, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to, you know, work with what we got. So Black Metal Dragon, when it leaves the field, you are able to search any Red Eyes card. And our Red Eyes card is Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, which can banish a dragon to special summon itself from hand and can res another dragon. And obviously, when we normal summon black, go into whatever, special summon darkness by banishing the dragon that we linked into, bring back the black, and we are able to link into Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spears, which is basically what this deck revolves around. Absolutely super nutty card. And obviously, if you're able to get this off of a free special summon, say off of 1-for-1 or World Legacy Guard Dragon, you could easily go for some really, really incredible extension plays and OTK plays on like follow-ups, or maybe even first turn where you're able to set up Xiao plus Spheres plus Tidying. Next, we're playing 3 Parlor, 3 Chamber. Parlor is our Foolish Burial for any Dragonmaid. Obviously, we can send cards we want to resurrect. We can send the big dragons in case we want to tag out for the battle phase or for fusion plays. We can even send Tidying because Parlor can link itself off and Tidying is able to res it. So we got 2 materials, boom, make ball. Next, we got 3 Chamber. It's our Stratos, really powerful, play it. I don't think I really need to explain this card too much. We are playing 2 of the, and of course we've got our Nurse Dragonmaid, which is sort of our extension tool, and the fact that we're able to summon it off of Spheres. And Nurse Dragonmaid is sort of like the searchable one of that's always online. We summon Nurse off of Spheres, bring back either a Parlor or Chamber, and then we're just absolutely off to the races. Next, we've got our big dragons, we've got Ernest, and we've got our Lorpar. These are sort of just like the least bad ones that we can play. Obviously, if you do want to play the Tin Kek, that's also acceptable in case you just have a little bit more difficult of the time running over big bodies. But in my opinion, these 2 just work perfectly fine for me. So, for the spells and traps for the Dragonmaids, we've got 2 Hospitality, because it is massively searchable. You can obviously play the 3rd one if you really want to. We've got the 2 Changeover. This is our fusion spell and is able to trigger cards such as House Dragonmaid because its graveyard effect allows us to bounce a Dragonmaid card monster we controlled back to our hand, and it can add itself back. And it obviously triggers stuff like House Dragonmaid, who's able to pop stuff. Really powerful stuff. I play 2 because I'm extremely paranoid of cards like DD Crow and National Aerial. But obviously, if you're not as scared as me, you can play this at 1 because, again, very searchable. And of course, the main trap card of the deck, Dragonmaid Tidying. I will read this card to you and you will shit. You can target 1 Dragonmaid you control, 1 dragon monster you control, and 1 card your opponent controls are in the graveyard. Return them to the hand. Note that the return to the hand is not a cost, so you can Spheres Tidying. Very, very nice stuff. And of course, you can banish it from your graveyard to res a Dragonmaid monster in your graveyard, but you can only use 1 of those effects per turn and only once that turn. So obviously, you can't like Tidying and then immediately like Tidying banish something to banish itself to summon Chamber. It's just not that good, but it's pretty good. Absolutely play this card at 3. It is what the heart of the soul of this deck is. And of course, 1 Dragonmaid Downtime. There's a lot of Eldlich Stun. There's a lot of back row strategies that come within this format. And Dragonmaid Downtime is just a great way to sort of answer these sort of problems. A continuously on Mystical Space Typhoon, or like Compulse for back row, I guess, is really, really useful when you're dealing with these sort of strategies. And against really slow combo strategies, you're able to out-resource them as well, because Downtime also acts as a Stratos. Super underrated, and in certain matchups are auto-wins. For consistency, we're playing 3 Pot of Prosperity, just the best one. You can play Extrav, but I have like personal issues with that card because I fucking hate that card. We're playing 3 World Legacy Guard Dragon just as a generic extender. It's a reborn and it can set up our Guard Dragon zones. We're playing 3 Solemn Strike because it's just Solemn Strike. And yeah, that's about it for the main deck. For the extra deck, we're playing 2 House Dragonmaid and 2 Dragonmaid Xiao. Obviously, you might be banishing one or the other off of Prosperity. And it's just a great card to have multiples of in case one of them gets removed or for whatever reason. House Dragonmaid is pretty bad. You are able to target another Dragonmaid monster control and special summon one from your hand or graveyard who has a 1 level difference. So obviously if you have like a Parlor, you can summon a Chamber or vice versa. So honestly not really that good. And its other effect is if a Dragonmaid monster returns to the hand, you can target a monster on the field and destroy it. It's not once per turn, but realistically it's not really going to matter. Usually how this deck is intended to play is that during the battle phase, the house is going to be popping multiple cards because multiple Dragonmaids are returning to your hand. But you can also trigger it with cards such as Dragonmaid Changeover or Tidying. Also Downtime. So that's super duper neat. We've got Dragonmaid Xiao, our Omni Negate, special summons, does everything, shit and come. I love this card. We're playing 3 Guard Dragon Pisty and 1 Striker Dragon. Obviously this Almirage should actually just be a second Striker Dragon, but I don't want to craft a second Striker Dragon because I don't play Dragon Link. Pretend this is the second Striker Dragon. Obviously the Link ones are really important for this deck because you will need to link off your dragons in order to get them to the grave, so you can very easily revive them and make spheres. So yeah. Speaking of, we're playing 3 spheres. This card is an ultra rare. This card costs so much fucking UR dust. Holy shit. This card is absolutely insane. Once you're during your opponent's turn, if it's in the EMZ, you can tribute a monster from your hand or field. Obviously, you're going to be one attributing itself, and you can non-target bounce a card on your opponent's field. And usually, you're going to be doing that to like a normal summon, extension, really powerful critical piece. Really just nice stuff. And if it was tributed, mandatory by the way, you could special summon any dragon from your deck, but reduce its stats to 0/0. It is fucking insane. Usually the card you're summoning it is, of course, as we explained earlier, there's Dragonmaid to help revive and go into those sort of plays. You can also summon like Chamber Dragonmaid or Parlor if you need specific setup scenarios, or even Black Metal or one of the big dragons even if you really want to. But usually I would just recommend Nurse in most scenarios. Really powerful stuff. Then we got 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Nightmare Unicorn. Really powerful, just back row and monster / generic removal. And Borrelsword Dragon. We're not playing Access Code in this specific deck because it's actually a little bit easier for this deck to go into Borrelsword, and you don't really link summon too many times. So Access Code's never getting as big as you want it to be, and you don't really have that many attributes engraved to banish for it. Say, like an Adamancipator, where you usually have like 3 to 4 cards you want to banish with Access Code, and it'll always be a 53, and this deck, at best, is going to be like a 33 or 43, on those very rare occasions where you're linking off like Hieratic Spheres. Overall, I think this deck has a really powerful control shell within it, and if you're really strong at fundamentals and you want to try a really nice control deck out, I cannot recommend Dragonmaid enough. So, let's get on to the next deck. Have you ever thought to yourself, man, I really want to ruin somebody's day? This is the deck for you. This is Eldlich Stun. The deck revolves around this golden goober, Eldlich the Golden Lord. So, the way how Eldlich is historically played is that it was released in Secret Slayers, and it was immediately one of the silliest fucking things of all time because it was a really concise trap engine that was able to take advantage of really powerful recursive traps that resisted destruction, and you were able to play this in combination with either combo cards such as the Jet Synchron Halqifibrax or Rorodon lines, where you were able to set up like 3 negates, draw like 4 cards, as well as like set 5, which was borderline unbeatable and one of the best decks at the time. Or you could just play pure traps. Yeah, this deck is fucking goofy. I don't think I have to explain this too much. But ever since the Auroradon hit, as well as a lot of other interactions that were unfortunately removed, Eldlich has kind of been floundering because who would have guessed that 1 pop a turn isn't exactly great. Especially when it's a trap card and very easily answered to when you don't have like a Borderlord Savage or the Herald of the Arclight backing it up. But in the OCG, guess what? There are a lot of fucking floodgates, and Eldlich can play around all of them. So, let's just hop right into this war crime. Hand traps, Veiler, self-explanatory at this point. Good to see in multiples off of the Maxi. Maxi, draw cards. This is good in a trap deck. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring negates Maxi and lets us draw negate shit. 2, Eldlich the Golden Lord. You only will ever need 2. 3 becomes kind of cloggy, and 2 is sort of like this golden ratio of you get to see it sometimes and not all the time. Some people have argued you can play one of it, but I don't want to lose to DD Crow or Called By. Anyways, we're playing pots for consistency, 3 Pot of Extravagance because we're playing a trap deck. Our extra deck realistically won't ever really matter. And 2 Pot of Prosperity. It's Pot of Prosperity. I don't know what the fuck to say. It's consistency. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we're playing 1 Eldlich of Black Awakening. Obviously, we want to see our Eldlich a bit sooner than compared to TCG builds where you're not only playing like 3 Scarlet and whatever, because this is a best of 1 format. Seeing our like win con enabler as soon as possible is really important. 2 Eldland because it is really good. It's our Stratos, but honestly, it's kind of shit sometimes. But again, we really need to see our Eldlich if we're going to try and squeeze it out in a best of 1 format. 3 Torrential Tribute. Our cards do not care if they are destroyed. We honestly kind of like it sometimes. 3 Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine. This special is Eldlich from the deck. Really powerful stuff. And the 3 Conquistador of the Golden Land. This is our pop. And this is our Huaquero, our DD Crow. And of course, we are playing the 1 Golden Land Forever. Usually you don't see this in TCG builds, but of course, again, we're playing in the OCG, best of 1 format. We want to just windmill slam sack our opponents, even though this card isn't very good from a technical standpoint. It is just really, really powerful and sacky when we're able to resolve it. Floodgates. We're playing 1 Imperial Order. We get to negate spells, so we're playing it. We get to play 3 Rivalry of Warlord. This card just shuts out so many decks. It is the goofiest shit I have ever seen. I have lost so many games to this card. Speaking of games I've lost to this card, we've got 3 Skill Drain. I will let you know, every time I normal summoned Alistair and my opponent skill drained me, I just quit. I could not beat that card. It was that powerful. And we've got the 1 Vanity's Emptiness. It's Vanities, bro. It's fucking Vanities. Like, what am I supposed to say about this? Oh, yeah, it's real interactive. You flip this, you stop your opponent's turn, and then you just kill them on the crackback by destroying everything they love. Extra deck is literally irrelevant. Probably the only thing I can say is, like, real is, like, the Hulk into, like, Selene Axis Code line. The rest of this was literally just stolen from just, like, Quantal. Play Nightmares. Literally, you could probably get away with, like, playing 3 Nightmare Serb, 3 Phoenix, 3 Hulk, 3 Selene, 3 Axis Code. That's all you'll ever really need. Just play generically good stuff in your extra deck and you'll be fine. When all else fails, you can normal summon Alistair. This deck honestly speaks for itself. Alistair the Invoker is a really powerful normal summon that came out in Fusion Enforcers, and unfortunately due to the preeminence of Zodiac, this deck never really got a great chance to shine. However, it has been played in a supplementary engine for as long as time has existed. Basically, you kind of just have to ask yourself, if you're playing a deck that doesn't have a great normal summon, is this card better than Alistair? And Alistair usually just beats almost every single normal summon in regards to its really tight and concise package, where Mekaba is really powerful and really easy to make without having to invest a ton of main deck or extra deck slots. But obviously, it was paired with decks like Mekk-Knight because the Mekk-Knights were lights and you are able to very, very easily make additional copies of Mekaba or set up OTK plays very, very quickly. And the Mekk-Knights are just great at resource generation, so the two are basically just a match made in heaven. You play this deck blind second because you want to be cracking boards open and going for OTKs, because Alistair plus any Mekk-Knight is an OTK. Really nice stuff. We're just going to get straight into the cards. Hand traps. Veiler. It's good. Play it in multiples because Maxi triggers it. Maxi. It's Maxi. Play it. Drawing cards is good. Ash Blossom. It's Ash Blossom. Stops Maxi sometimes. Nibiru. Play it at 1 or 2 because it's bad in multiples to see. It's bad to see in multiples. And you can draw it off Maxi multiple times. Really good. Alistair. We're playing 3 of it. You want to see this guy as fast as humanly possible. 2 Meltdown, 1 Terraforming. It searches Alistair and it gives your invocation protection from cards like Warning or Judgment or other goober cards like that. Next, 2 Invocation. You only play 2, you don't need 3. 3 makes it really cloggy, and you'll just only ever need 2 Invocation, okay? Like, I don't think I need to fucking explain this shit. And we're playing a weird card. I wasn't playing this in my original build, so I'll give it a little bit of insight of why I am playing this card. We're playing 3 Sangans. So one of the main issues I was seeing with this deck is that I didn't have a great normal summon outside of Alistair. I only had 1 other normal summon, being like Hand Traps. And Sangan honestly filled that spot really well. You could obviously play a card maybe like Apira, which is able to give you like a card draw right off the bat. But Sangan has such a dearth of playable search targets that I honestly do think that Sangan is worth playing as a 4, 5, and 6 normal summon. It is able to search cards like Veiler, Ash Blossom. It can search Maxi. It can also search Alistair, which is fucking goofy. But it can also search Mekk-Knight Orange Sunset, which doesn't activate to special summon and can be a 1-card Verite line, as long as you have a column set up, of course. Next, for the Mekk-Knights, we're playing 3 Purple Nightfall. It is the best one, so we play it at 3. We're playing 2 Blue Sky. It's kind of weird to see in multiples, and it is uber searchable, but it's also good, so we play it at 2. Very nice. We're playing the one Orange Sunset because it is searchable off of Sangan. We are playing the Yellow Star. We are no longer playing Red Moon because that card kind of sucks. Yellow Star pops back row, which can interrupt with our OTK, which is a lot better than Red Moon because we are not worried about our opponent's monsters, surprisingly. And the Indigo Eclipse as our little move to set up for columns more easily and to synergize with World Legacy Secret. We are playing, of course, the one Rainbow Dragon and the one Elemental Hero Neos because of our Neos Fusion package. This card is absolutely fucking broken. You can special summon Rainbow Neos from your extra deck, and Rainbow Neos is just a house of a card. I'll get way more into it, but just know that Alistair, Extender, OTK. Absolutely nuts. We were playing 3 Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm is really good, but it also has this little Nombo that it has with the deck and where it can destroy columns that you need to summon your Mekk-Knights. But overall, this card is just a fucking blowout. I love it. 3 Pot of Prosperity. We like extension and searchability. We were playing 1 World Legacy Secret. This is searchable off of our Mekk-Knight link, and we're just going to get into the extra deck. 1 Purgatrio. We were playing Almirage, so we like seeing this card. We were playing the 1 Invoked Mekk-Knights just as a sort of last resort target in case we need to pop some stuff on our opponent's field, and it can get itself really big by banishing cards such as Invoked Mekk-Knights, which is our main guy. This is the main negate boy. It is almost always online because we're banishing Alistair's, adding it back with Invocation. Absolutely nutty stuff. It is really, really good. Rainbow Neos. So this card has 3 different effects. You can send a spell from your spell and trap card zone or on your field, whatever, to spin all your opponent's back row. Spin, by the way, every single spell or trap your opponent controls. You could send the top card from your deck to the graveyard to return every single card in your opponent's graveyard to their main deck, or an extra deck, of course. And one of the most broken shit I've ever seen. You could send a monster from your field or to the graveyard, shuffle all monsters your opponent controls into the deck. This makes OTKing so easy. Literally 2/3 of my games I won just because of Rainbow Neos. This card is absolutely insane. Like Alistair plus any Mekk-Knight, you'll go like Alistair, blah blah blah. Summon a Mekk-Knight, you'll link the 2 into Verte, you'll make your whatever it's called, you make your Mekaba, you'll Verte summon the Rainbow Neos, and Rainbow Neos will spin your Verte. Obviously, you could spin something like maybe another Mekk-Knight, or you'll send like a Secure Gardener or an Almirage, but usually you'll have 7k on board after that, and then the Alistair you add back to your hand because Invocation, you'll just discard it and pump up Rainbow Neos or Mekaba to 35 or 55, and that'll be 8,000 exact. Absolutely goofy. Link monsters, we're playing the Almirage plus Secure Gardener. Almirage is here because we can link our Sangan into it upon the normal summon and it'll trigger. So we can search something like, of course, our Orange Sunset or a Hand Trap. Maxi is the most popular one, as well as it being able to set up for Verte lines. And the Secure Gardener is just in case we really need to make a Mekaba. Because obviously Almirage into Secure Gardener, Alistair banished the Gardener for Invocation. 1 Majestic, the Moon Maiden. This is our main target for our Invocation off of Alistair because we usually want to be saving the Almirage for linking off our Sangan. But you can maybe play 2 or 3. You can maybe play 2 of the Artemis if you're really paranoid by cutting the Secure Gardener. But I just really like just the 1 of. You'll only ever really need 1 in my opinion. Hulkify Rex, Celine, Access Code combo. Alistair's a spellcaster, we are playing Effect Veilers, and we are playing a whole lot of spells, so this line is really good, but this is honestly a line that you'll be banishing off of Prosperity going first, usually. Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn. We like to spin and get rid of cards. The Predaplant, Verite Anaconda, obviously to send our Neos Fusion to just spin our opponent's board and kill them really fast. And, of course, the Mekk-Knight of the Morning Star. This is sort of like a when all else fails sort of line, but if you're able to discard an Indigo Eclipse as well as and grab the World Legacy Secret, you can honestly just treat this card as like a double Veiler. It is really, really powerful stuff, and honestly in certain scenarios you're able to just completely lock your opponent out of card effects by locking down both the main and extra extra monster zones. It's actually just incredible. So do I recommend this deck? Yeah, it's got a really cheesy, powerful OTK line. It can do some stuff going first with both the Alistair and Sangan stuff. A lot of hand traps, makes great use of the tools that the OCG has given to us. And yeah, if you want to play a blind second deck, this is it. We've got Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc. This is probably, in my opinion, the second best combo deck you could play on ladder right now. So, brief overview time. Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc was the first incarnation in which the Tri-Brigade cards were seriously explored. The Tri-Brigades obviously needed a lot of Tri-type support, and the Lyrilusc cards were able to provide that, being that they were wing beasts, able to generate a ton of advantage, and overall just really good stuff. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to end on like a Simorg plus a barrier statue, as well as maybe like one other interruption. It lost too hard to cards like Dark Ruler No More, Forbidden Droplet. Hand Trap Interruption was obviously really bad at very critical points, and overall the deck just sort of faded into obscurity over time. Until the new support drop, Synchro gave this deck a ton of tools, being Barrel Canary, a free special summon from the graveyard, which is in hand, which is fucking nuts. It does lock you into Xyz monsters after you use it, but obviously that isn't really, that big of a deal. Celestine Wagtail, which is able to add a Lyrilusc spell or a trap, and the best spell card I have ever fucking read for Legacy support, Lyrilusc Bird Call, which allows you to add or Foolish Burial a Lyrilusc from your deck, and then immediately after, special summon a Lyrilusc from your hand or from your hand that has a different name. This shit is fucking nuts. I don't know how I can explain that a search plus free special is good. They also got access to cards such as Ensemble Robin, which is multiple compulsory evacuations on special summon monsters, which is obviously really good, as well as Utopic Draco Future, which is able to be summoned by overlaying 2 Recital Starlings. Wow, this card's an ultra rare? Shit, no wonder I didn't build this deck. Anyways, you're able to just very easily set up an amazingly powerful combo board, as well as just windmill slam your opponent out of the game before they even get a chance. So, let's get into the card by card. Hand traps. We are playing 3 Ash Blossom because it is good. We are playing 3 Maxi because it is good. So, Lyrilusc cards. We are playing the 3 Turquoise Warbler. Turquoise Warbler is able to special summon itself from the hand for free if I control no monsters, which usually you are able to turn 1 because you have no monsters turn 1. And you can special summon a Lyrilusc from your hand or graveyard. Usually the one you'll want to be summoning is your Cobalt Sparrow. Cobalt Sparrow is able to on-summon, add any Lyrilusc monster from your deck to your hand. Really nice stuff. It also gives your Xyz monsters protection from targeting, so it makes stuff like Recital Starling a lot better against cards like Veiler or Infinite Impermanence. We've got the 2 Sapphire Swallow, which is able to special summon itself for free, as well as another level 1 from your hand. Really powerful for extension and summoning that second Recital Starling or get that extra material on board. Really neat stuff. We're playing the 3 Barrel Canary because this card is really broken. It is a reborn and it's reborn. Like, I don't know what to say. It's a free special and reborn. Fuck it. We're playing 1 Celestine Wagtail. This card isn't bad. However, it is very massively searchable off of cards like, our Cobalt Sparrow. And usually its only target is going to be our Lyrilusc Bird Call. Really, really powerful card. For the Tri-Brigade engine, we are playing 3 Tri-Brigade Nerval, which is really, really nice. It is a level 1 wing beast, so obviously it is special summonable off of cards such as Sapphire Swallow. Really neat. It's, I think, also searchable off of our Recital Starling because it is a level 1 wing beast. Speaking of cards that are searchable off of our Recital Starling, we've got the 1 DD Crow. This is sort of just like that Saki one of where if you've already got everything, you could just splat. You could just add this. Just like, fuck it. Who cares? Then, of course, you've got the other Tri-Brigades. We've got the 1 Cuirass because it is a free special. Obviously, you're going to be searching this off of the Nerval and able to go into further extension plays. We've got the 1 Kit because it is really bad in this deck, unlike in Tri-Brigade Zoo. And we've got 3 Fractal, which is able to not only send Kit for the Kit Nerval Cuirass play, but it can also send Cobalt Sparrow. So if you've got a Turquoise Warbler in hand, you go like Fractal, send Cobalt Sparrow, special summon it back with Turquoise. Really nice stuff. And then we've got our 1 Garnet, the Mist Valley Apex Avian. This is our Omni Negate that we're going to be special summoning off our Simorg, Bird of Sovereign. You can play Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds, but it's kind of sacky and not really that good. We're playing our 1-for-1. Obviously, this is just a way to get to any one of our level 1s. Usually, again, of course, obviously going to be like Lyrilusc, Cobalt Sparrow, or Nerval. Maybe sometimes like Wagtail. Who knows? Board breakers. We are, of course, playing our Lightning Storm. It's just a generically very, very powerful card. We've got our Bird Call, which is able to, solve world hunger, apparently. We've got 3 Fire Formation Tenki. This is just another way to get to our Fractal, which is obviously really good, and to Call by the Grave. This deck loses to hand traps like it's nobody's fucking business. There's a saying that I heard from like Raphael Navin or someone in like some European in a Discord call. This deck fucking loses to Valor on Turquoise. Like shit. It's rough out here, buddy. And being able to stop cards like Max C and Ash Blossom is extremely critical. You can play Cross the Designator in the Lightning Storm spots if you really want to. But again, I would just keep it simple, in my opinion. I don't want to overload on just panicking on seeing a hand trap. But you do need to play some sort of insurance for it. Extra deck, we are playing 1 Utopic Future and 1 Utopic Future Draco. When all else fails, gotta do what you gotta do. Future can go into Draco by overlaying 2 Recital Starlings. Recital Starling obviously is our main searcher. By overlaying 2 level 1s into it, it can detach one of them and able to search any single level 1 winged beast. Usually you're going to be searching the Barrel Canary with one of them and the Sapphire Swallow with another. Not in that order, but like you get the general idea. Overlay 2 of them, go into Utopic Future, and then we can overlay Utopic Draco Future on top of it, which is a monster negate and steals monsters, and is also very big. It is very, very good. This card is nuts. Obviously, we've got our Lyrilusc Ensemble Blue Robin. It acts as a calm pulse whenever your opponent special summons a monster. You can detach a material, bounce it back to the hand, and it has a floating effect. Honestly, that floating effect is what makes this card fucking nuts. Usually, you're going to be adding Barrel Canary back with its effect, because Barrel Canary is generically the best one. Very cool. We got the Downward Magician into Zeus line, obviously in case we go into Assembled Nightingale, which obviously is just a Zeus enabler. We can overlay 2 of these guys, go into an Assembled Nightingale, maybe attach something from Grave, make it 3 materials, get a Downward Magician, make that 4 materials, Zeus. Very, very nice. Zeus obviously just wipes boards. We've got Almirage because sometimes we may need to link off a Nerval or a Kit in order to really just get that search extension because we're in a really tight pickle. This just serves as a great way to get those pesky Tri-Brigades off our board in case we want to trigger those effects. Speaking of triggering effects, we've got Ancient Warrior's Oath, Double Dragon Lores. This is our Compulse on legs 2. Basically, on summon, it's got a way to Stratos and Ancient Warrior discard, but we will never ever use that effect. Usually, the only effect you'll ever actually use is you're able to send a card from your hand or field to the graveyard. So say something like a Nerval or even a Tenki, and target a face-up card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. Really powerful just for, it's Compulse. It's neat. I like it. We've got 1 Tri-Brigade Farragut, the Baron, I don't know. It's got the gun and it special summons cards from the hand for free. I don't really know what to say. The cycle effect is also pretty neat in case you want to dig for cards such as Maxi or Ash Blossom, of course. We've got the 1 Simorgh Bird of Sovereignty. This is going to be able to summon our Mist Valley Apex Avian, but obviously in simplified game states, just having this untargetable body, just be able to bring out card after card after card during end phase, honestly might be just a little bit too much for your opponent to handle. We've got the 1 Shurag, the Ominous Omen. I would be playing 2 if possible, but the extra deck space is just extremely tight. If you want to shave down, maybe you could cut the Downward Magician because this deck natively has a way to attach additional material to the Assembled Nightingale. It's just kind of difficult to find places to shave space. Just a really powerful card, able to search stuff upon it being sent to the graveyard, as well as it being a non-target banish and just being a very big booty. And finally, we've got the Access Code Talker. Making Access Code in this deck is just a hop, skip, and a jump. This deck is absolutely goofy. This is an incredibly powerful combo deck. I don't think there's any other way to cut it. It can play through Hate exceptionally well outside of, Maxi and Nibiru, and it just has a massive power ceiling. But this deck does take a lot of effort and brain power to play optimally. You can very much just buy a spreadsheet and understand the basic combos, but understanding what to do through Hate, hand traps, specific interaction, that is where this deck really shines for a really skilled and knowledgeable pilot to really just take control of this deck and do what they were meant to do, which is normal summon fucking Nerval. I would recommend this deck if you are a very combo-centric minded person, but understand what you are doing when it comes to the general ins and outs of the game, and sort of like fishbowling against what should I do against this scenario, what should I do against that scenario. This is the deck for you. Finally, we have reached the apex. Welcome to Adamancipator. Historically, this deck was released alongside Eldlich in Secret Slayers, and Adamancipator is made up of 3 minors with an E, you weirdos, which is able to literally go mining by excavating the top 5 cards of your deck, and if you hit a non-tuner rock monster that is level 4 or lower, you are able to special summon it to your side of the field and put the other 4 back under. This would enable incredibly powerful synchro and link spam plays. Absolutely incredible boards this deck can end on. You've got Adamancipator Researcher, who is able to special summon itself for free if you control a rock, making it the best generic one. Adamancipator Seeker, who is able to special summon itself for free if you control an Adamancipator monster, and arguably the worst one, Adamancipator Analyzer, which is a Cyber Dragon, where if only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon it for free. But it's really great for being just a free negate bait in both of its forms. So, in combination with a bunch of other super powerful rock-type monsters such as Block Dragon, which was banned like a couple months after Secret Star's release, as well as some super duper goofy Link line plays with Halka and Link Cross, this deck was easily, arguably a tier 0 deck. Once people sort of like refined the metagame and realized that even Eldlich Synchron couldn't beat this deck was arguably like a tier 0 deck. And then the ban list happened, and unfortunately this deck was one of the only decks that just never saw a premier top because it was banned during COVID. But we are able to see it in its full glory here in the OCG, outside of the fact that Link Cross is banned. So, card by card time. Let's get into the Adamancipators. We're throwing 3 Researcher, 3 Seeker, and 3 Analyzer. Seeing any of these guys in your opening hand is obviously really important, and they all synergize with each other. Like normal summon Analyzer, special summon Seeker, special summon Researcher is literally 6 bodies on board and full fucking combo. It is incredible. Next, we've got our rocks. We've got our 3 Prankis Roxys, which is able to be summoned off of the miners because it is a rock, and really great for just generic link climbing, of course. And of course, its friend, the 1 Dropsies. We play Dropsies specifically because it's level 2, which has really convenient level lines, considering the synchros that we're summoning are level 8 and level 6 respectively, as well as the fact that it is a water and helps turn on our Adamancipator Risen Dragites negate effect, because we need a water monster in the graveyard. Next, we've got our generic extenders, the Koikai Meru Supplier, who is able to be special summoned from the hand if a rock monster is sent to the graveyard, obviously by link summoning or by synchro summoning. And on summon, it is able to add any rock monster, any Koikai monster from our deck to our hand, being the Koikai Meru Guardian, who is also able to be special summoned off our Adamancipator, because guess what? It is level 4 or lower. This card is absolutely incredible. You can negate a monster effect when it's activated by sending it to the graveyard, and guess what? We can negate lots and lots of hand traps, especially Max C. Like, this card is so fucking goofy. Next, we've got our Hyper Extenders, the Madolche Petting Sessor, who is just a free level 4 special that is an Earth, which is super nice, and a Tenyi Spirit Adhara, which is a tuner summon for Halka Fibrax, as well as an Earth. So that's pretty nice. Next, we've got the 3 Block Dragon. I don't need to explain how fucking powerful this card is. You can special summon it from your hand or graveyard by banishing 3 Earth attribute monsters, and then while it's on the board, rock monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects, and when it's sent to the graveyard, you can add up to 3 rock monsters from your deck to your hand, whose total levels equals 8. Huh, I wonder what I could possibly be searching. Oh, what's this? Research is level 2? Oh, Seeker's level... You get the fucking idea. This shit is fucking insane. And finally, you're playing the 2 Doki Doki. You kind of need a critical number of rock monsters in your deck in order for this deck to work. And Doki Doki, although it's like a pretty good normal summon and can sometimes be your best normal summon by being able to pitch a level 4 to go into like a Roxy's or an Analyzer or a Guardian at times when it's hit off of a miner, sometimes it's just your normal summon. You get Veilered and then you literally pass. So it's good, but it's not that good, unfortunately. And finally, we're playing the 1 Garnet. We're playing our 2 Garnets, the Mecha Beast O-Lion, who's able to set up synchro lines and link plays by special summoning it off our Halka Fibrax. It also turns on Raptite because it is a wind. And we've got our Union Carrier target, the Dragon Buster Destruction Swordsman. Scythe locking your opponent? That's neat. Finally, you've got 3 Sekka's Light. Obviously, you don't have to play Sekka's Light builds. Adamancipator Sign is also a very, very powerful card that you can play along with dex cards such as Lightning Storm and Call by the Grave. However, Sekka's Light is just Pot of Greed, literally. It is literally just Pot of Greed. I think that Sekka's Light Adamancipator is easily the most combo-centric, just best way to just crunch through any combo board, or the best way to set up any combo board. Absolutely incredible. It's also Ash Blossom bait, so that's neat. On to the extra deck. For the synchros, we've got one Adamancipator Risen Raptite. While it's on the board, you can, on your opponent's turn, you can, if you have a wind in your graveyard, it acts as a DD Crow. However, additionally, during your main phase, you can activate the top 5, and you can special summon any rock monster from your deck to the field, which includes other Adamancipators, because the Adamancipator miners can't summon other miners, because guess what? They are tuners. But Raptite doesn't care. If you hit like an Analyzer off the top, you're coming and shitting. You've got the Warlord Savage Dragon, which is just a great Omni Negate card. Obviously, please go into a Link monster before you summon this guy, otherwise he will have nothing to equip. And Adamancipator Risen Dragite. While it is a great piece of spell and trap removal, this is honestly shines even better when you realize going second, this card can basically just bounce your opponent's board if they do not have response, because during your main phase, you can activate the top 5 cards, and if you do, you return cards your opponent controls from the field to the hand, equal to the number of excavated rock monsters. Absolutely nuts. We've got the Gallant Granite, because we want to search rock monsters, especially this one. This one's nuts. Anyways, we got the one Link Spider in case you get Nibiru'd, as well as for the O-Line token at times for specific plays. Meow Meow Moo, who is able to be linked off into Roxy, so we can just get really powerful link laddering, as well as its Doodle Doo target. You sometimes see people playing Bow Wow Bark if they're playing the Leonite build, but we are not, because the Leonite is kind of shit. So we're playing Doodle Doo just because, again, we need for link climbing, as well as being a win, to turn on Raptite. We're playing the Nightmare Cerberus, Nightmare Phoenix, and Nightmare Unicorn package because we do not have Verite into Dragoon, unfortunately, and I do not want to play the Neos Fusion package in this deck because we literally kind of can't because of Sekka's Light. Crystron Halqifibrax is really, really powerful in this deck. I would argue and say that this is the most powerful it has ever been because we are able to have it constantly online. And back when Link Cross was in the game, any two monsters, and one of them being a tuner, was basically the game. Because Link Cross into Halqifibrax into Link Cross and just Aurora, Mechafana Beast, O-Line lines were just absolutely incredibly silly, and almost nothing could beat it. In this deck, it is only just, very, very good, considering we always have access to tuners. One IP into Unicorn, obviously. IP just, I guess, budget Verite Anaconda until we get our good fusion targets. One Union Carrier, we can equip our Dark Warlord Savage Dragon with our Dragon Buster Destruction Swordsman. There are also scenarios where we are equipping Block Dragon to an Earth monster in case we're really hurting for extension. I'd say about maybe like 7 out of 10 times you're going to be doing the Union Carrier line, and then like 3 out of 10 times you're going to be equipping Block Dragon because maybe you couldn't get the search off of it for Granite, you didn't open it, you're just like in a rock and a hard place. Haha, get it? Then we've got Apollousa, really powerful stuff. It's basically an FTK. You're always going to have the materials to make a 3 or 4 material Apollousa at times. Just really, really powerful card. This is basically just a floodgate for monster effects. Nuts. And Access Code Talker because we are always able to get a ton of stuff into the graveyard and a ton of attributes, pump this guy up to 53 or even 63 if we're linking off the Apollousa, and basically just the best turn ender that this deck can manage. So, what do I think of Adamancipator? I think that this deck is fucking goofy. Like, holy shit, this deck is actually insane. I don't think that there's a better deck than Adamancipator for this format, honestly. It is very powerful, it's very powerful, very consistent, able to set up very unfair, uninteractive stuff, and it can honestly play through Maxi like it's nobody's business. Like, your opponent could literally hand trap you like 4 times, and unless one of those hand traps is like Nibiru, you probably cannot lose. It is just that powerful. Without a doubt, in my opinion, the best deck in Master Duel.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you guys are interested in seeing more deck profiles for high rarity decks, deck profiles for low rarity decks, specific gameplay stuff. Just let me know in the comment section down below. I'll try and deliver. Yeah, that's gonna be it. See ya.